last year, especially when a lot of teams like Washington do a lot of shifts and whatnot. So it's a lot of mental breakdowns on the field, a lot of busted coverages. So really just harping alignment, harping assignment, just harping to take a picture of what the offense is showing you pre-snap to just enhance that awareness, that anticipation, so that we can challenge routes instead of just playing soft coverage. Oh, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, boss?
Not a lot. How are you?
How you doing? Solid.
All right. A lot of changes to the defensive backs room, but also a lot of veterans coming back.
Yeah.
Where does it kind of stand right now with some of the young guys that are coming in?
I mean, we're excited about the young guys. You know, when you have, you know, your first full recruiting class, it's so important to make sure that you get really good, talented players in your program that not only are talented, but guys that want to be here. Because with the transfer portal, you want to eliminate retention. So the message for these guys that come to Arizona State is, one, we want you to be a Sun Devil. We want you to want to be here. We want you to grow and develop. And some guys have to have the ability to delay gratification. I might be slight. I might have to come in and add weight. Do I have the mentality to come in and know that I need to gain weight, know what I do, and focus on that? Or am I going to be emotional with the win? And the way the portal is, it's always, you know, misery loves company. So when you have guys and you have a talented room, you want to make sure that all of them are together versus 6 of them that are playing, 2 of them not playing. Misery loves company. Those 2 guys, you know, throw a fit or whatever, and most likely those guys don't survive here. So just finding guys that are compatible, finding guys that are good human beings, guys that want to be here, you know.
Looking at the safety position, Shamari's obviously going to be the leader back there.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Alford returning after the ineligibility from the NCAA.
Yeah.
What's that looking like for Xavier?
I'm excited for Xavier. I told him today, I was like, you've been in college half of my career, you know, so I'm going in year 10 in college football, and, you know, having Xavier at Texas and having Xavier at USC and now having Xavier here, it's like, you know, I've kind of felt bad for him, you know, last year not being able to play, but he's a guy that knows how to delay gratification. He's a guy that's channeling all of that testosterone and passion to be out on that field, and, you know, just watch out, because, I mean, you're getting a guy that's going to be a vocal leader on that back end. And you're going to get a guy that's going to be passionate. He's a guy that works his ass off any chance he gets, you know, so we're going to feel the difference of Xavier and Alfred being in the back end, especially from a communicating standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, from a playmaking standpoint. Xavier is that guy, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ed Woods has stepped up. You know, Ed Woods is a guy when I got here, you know, floating around 165 pounds, dealing with a lot of soft tissue issues, missing games the year before, you know, so really challenging Ed that the best ability is availability. So Ed Woods being healthy throughout the duration of the season and being, you know, arguably our most dependable guy in coverage, you know, is tremendous. And Ed is up to 185 pounds now. So Ed has a pro frame, a pro body. Ed's a guy that I feel should have an opportunity to play this game at the next level. So we're expecting Ed to take another step, you know, this season. We want Ed to be a little bit more vocal. Guys respect the guys on the field that perform. Ed's a performer, you know, so he has that, he's earned the right to have a voice in that room.
Anybody else you've seen take a huge step?
Physically, the freshmen. I mean, Tony and Kuba, Chris Johnson up to 180 pounds. These are guys that were floating in the 160s when they got there. Rodney Bimich, 175, you know, pounds. Really, the more impressive one to me is Ed Woods being at 185 pounds. If we get to a season and Ed is playing at 185 pounds, like, watch out.
You coached in the Big 12 before, and what is your thoughts on just the offenses that you'll be facing and your kind of experience on that?
Yeah, I feel like the Big 12 is, you know, an exciting brand of football. It's going to be hectic environments. You got people that, you know, a zebra don't change its stripes, you know, or, you know, a leopard don't change its spots. So, I mean, Kansas State, you know, you're going to get a lot of 12 personnel. You play Oklahoma State, if they got a number 1 receiver, they're going to try to throw it to them 13 times. So, you know, Iowa State is a rugged football team, 12, 13 personnel sets, you know, all of that. So I'm very familiar with the Big 12. I feel like in a strange way last year, you know, and putting this defense in is going to prepare us for the Big 12. You know, last year we played a gauntlet of really good quarterbacks. You know, it's going to be hard to mirror those caliber of quarterbacks playing in the Big 12. So going into this system, year or two where guys are not only anticipating faster, but we've been able to iron out some details. You know, we've upgraded from a personnel standpoint, movement skills, and stuff like that. So I feel like we have an opportunity to do something really special on the back end. We just got to get on the grass and really just harp on developing, talent, because I feel like the pieces are here.
Who do you think are some guys, or maybe a group of guys, that are going to fill the void of Earl Torrance?
We got a lot of guys. I mean, when you talk about from a body standpoint, 6'3", 208 is hard to replace. So, I mean, bringing LaTerrence Welch, a guy that's 6'1", a guy that's 195 pounds, is very similar to Rowe from a playing standpoint, but he's a guy that's, is a fierce competitor. He's a guy that's been at LSU and, has really good film competing against Brian Thomas, first-round pick, Malik Neighbors, first-round pick. Some of these receivers that have been at LSU over the past, few years aren't no joke, so he is a really competitive guy. I feel like this change of scenery is going to be great for him. He's vocal, he's a communicator, he's a likable guy, and we'll get that physical presence from LaTerrence Welch.
Just overall, you talked about the vocal leaders that you've had back there. You talked about Shamari. Talked about then Coach Ward was talking about Keith Abney. What is it like to just kind of have all of those vocal leaders back there, and just how connected this group is to that?
I'm telling you, it starts with getting good human beings. Xavier Alfred, Shamari, Keith Abney, unbelievable human beings. You walk in and you see, Keith Abney probably has the highest GPA on the team. Just a guy that is all about his business. Really being a student athlete, being an athlete and a student, that's 2 full-time jobs. So to see a guy give his all in football, but a guy that gives his all in the classroom, those are remarkable people. Those are people that are going to be successful in life. So just having people on your roster that are going to be successful regardless of football is, going to love them back. If we had 11 Keith Abneys running out there on the field playing defense, it'd be a really good defense.
And Coach Ward also talked about Keith as kind of balancing
Yeah.
two position groups right now.
Yeah.
How is he kind of navigating?
Yeah, he's competent. You should look at your secondary as chess pieces. You should look at them as clones. If our number 3 cornerback or our number 5 cornerback is better than the number 3 nickel, and all those nickels are out, you put the number 5 cornerback in versus just next nickel up type deal. So you should view your secondary as chess pieces. And you might have to move guys around depending on matchups, depending on who you're playing this week. So we got some good problems in that secondary from a skill standpoint, from a movement skill standpoint. Like, we have some dudes. I'm excited to get these guys on the grass, but moving forward for the foreseeable future, the trajectory in our back end is up.